44 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Does your pizza excite you? The London Pizza Depot invites you on a journey with our worldwide inspired pizzas. To the smoke and jerk drums of Jamaica, to savor the Caribbean hot, to sunny California, to enjoy the greatest invention, the Cali cheeseburger. Transport yourself with every bite. Our authentically prepared hand-stretched dough, freshly diced veg, finest cuts of halal meat, and our 100% mozzarella cheese ensures the delivery of a masterpiece every time. Visit www.londonpizzadepot.co.uk or our branches in Ilford or Plaistow. Now you can enjoy buy one pizza, get one free every Tuesday. T's and C's apply.
The Career Link Project is a free employment and career service aimed at supporting young BAME women to navigate a path towards a successful future. If you're 16 or over and currently out of work, you could receive up to 10 months of personalised one-on-one career support and skills-based training to help you secure your future. Get in touch with us today on 07862 035 511 or email us at clp@tffn.co.uk. The Career Link Project, your future in your hands.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah, and Aqidah, we endeavor to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals, and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrollment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Rumford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
मैं तो उम्मती हूँ ऐ शाहे उमम कर दे मेरे आका अब नजरे करम मैं तो उम्मती हूँ ऐ शाहे उमम कर दे मेरे आका अब नजरे करम मैं तो बेसहारा हूँ दामन भी है खाली नबियों के नबी तेरी शान है निराली मैं तो उम्मती हूँ ऐ शाहे उमम कर दे मेरे आका अब नजरे करम गम के अंधेरों ने घेरा हुआ है आका दुश्वर अब जीना मेरा हुआ है बेगरीबाना दो मेरी तैबा के वाली बेगरीबाना दो
Revive FM
94.0 on the radio,
on your mobile
and online. This is
Revive FM
94.0 with the latest news from around the world. This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello, and welcome to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott, and I'm here in the studio with my wonderful co-host,
Tom Hutchinson.
That's right, and remember, we've got loads of stuff to talk about today. As you know, on Scott and Hutch, we love to open up the radio to a public debate, which means you can call in.
Yes, you can.
That is right, you can call in to Revive FM. The number is 0333
444
09.
40.
That's 0333
444
09.
40.
That's right. Now, I think it's probably time for me and Tom to play the jingle.
On FM,
On YouTube.
Facebook,
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop.
On Revive FM.
That's right.
Always throws me that.
It always. I mean, it's just the different jingle, you know, man. All right, lovely stuff. Right,
But
so
the principle is the same. That's what it is. We bring you
Yes.
the news.
now today, Scott and Hutch. Do you know what? This has really been bugging me. I've been driving around a lot recently, and one of my stations that's you got your auto tune stations, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the stations I listen to is LBC. It's a good way to listen to what's going on. And for the last 2 weeks, non-stop, Afghanistan.
Oh,
And I'm not taking issue with the fact that they're talking about Afghanistan. It's good that they're talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But they continuously mention it in a sense that, the government is continuously doing a bad job. To be honest, this isn't really Boris Johnson's fault.
Yeah, he's well, put it this way: he is following it in kind of the same way that Tony Blair followed George W. Bush in a way. He's kind of
But
having
even
to
then,
get involved, but not by choice.
But even then, though, this is horrific because Tony Blair. That was another thing. I'll get on to that.
Prime Minister Bonsai, as he was called in Japan at one point.
Here's the thing, right? Why, as a country, are we unable to stay without the support of US troops in Kabul airport? What is so important about the US being in Afghanistan that requires us to pull out if they pull out? We spend £45 billion a year on defense in this country. That's on all our armed forces. Can we put some of it to good use?
I mean,
why do we have armed
nice.
forces
Yeah.
if we're not going to use them when we need a longer deadline? Britain, France, and Germany can take unilateral action without the US, and I'm sure it's just politicians.
I
not having
suppose
enough
it's
political
because
will.
of the whole special relationship, really, isn't it?
Oh,
So
but
they
who
have to-
cares?
I know.
It's terrible. It doesn't work, does it?
Well, it worked back in the days of Maggie Thatcher and Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, because they were obviously lovers or something. But that's far, but that's besides the point. I'm joking, in all intents and purposes.
He just thinks it's a
But
country.
they were really good mates, right? They were
Yeah.
actually very good friends.
Oh, yes.
And that is why we had the scope of relationship with the US then. That was what was special about it.
Yeah.
It was the chumminess between those two.
Yeah.
Realistically, nowadays, it's Britain, do what we say. Oh, yes, of course, Daddy. America. In Taiwan, many people now think that there'll be a conflict. And often on Twitter, when the USA will do something with Taiwan or send them over jets or something, people will say on Taiwanese Twitter and social media feeds, thank you, Daddy America. That's what they call America. So for us to essentially, with all our defense spending, with all our allies and our military strength and know-how, we are woeful at looking after keeping our own.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why.
Well, I think we kind of proved that originally in the second Iraq War. In 2003 when we followed Daddy America and went over there. We were woefully, and there was the whole thing. And again, it's me going off on a tangent. There was the big report on Top Gear. Do you remember years ago? I think when James May went out there, and it was like they had the snatched Land Rovers, and they were just absolutely decimated by roadside bombs, and it was really old school tech that didn't work, and that's why we had to beef it up with things like the Mastiff and the Warthog and all this sort of stuff. Or not the Warthog, sorry, I think that's Halo, but I think there is something else called a Warthog. But it seems to be that and I don't mean this in disrespectful to anyone serving in the armed forces. I think it's amazing what you do. And we thank you for it. But we just don't we can't seem to sort of do it on our own sometimes.
I don't know why, though.
Yeah.
We're very capable.
Yeah.
All our military forces are incredibly capable. And we've just spent, £2.4 billion on a new aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
We're getting another one in a couple of years.
So hopefully
We've
this
got
time we
loads
can
of
fill this one up
frigates.
with petrol, because there was the one in 2004 that actually ran out of fuel, so its top speed was 12 knots.
Yeah.
It was being overtaken by the Isle of Wight ferry, for God's sake.
Yeah. But I mean,
Right.
but realistically, right? We've got such a capable military with overseas deployment capable. We're one of the only. We're one of our whole military is one of 4 in the world that have global operational deployment skills.
So
We're
we
one
can
of 3.
get anywhere in the
Us,
world.
the
basically,
US, Russia, and France, maybe.
And normally
people say.
it's when Russia deploys, we then have to deploy to go, sorry, you can't come here. And then it's like,
Yeah, I
you always
mean,
hear
yeah.
like Eurofighter Typhoons being scrambled
Yeah.
because of a Russian MiG following or something like that.
Something
you know?
like that. It's just them testing saber rattling
Yeah.
and reminding us that we're there. But I mean, realistically, the fact that we are pleading the US to extend the deadline is ridiculous, and and I don't see how the Taliban have any say. The Taliban have also told women not to go to work already. There's
Hey,
been
do you
lots of
remember 2 weeks ago
revenge.
when they said, "Oh no, we're gonna, we want women in work,
Well,
we want
no,
women in
because
education." That lasted.
what they were saying 2 weeks ago is exactly what they're doing now. They said women will have rights under the guidance of Sharia law. That which means all the things that they're doing now is exactly what they said to the world. They just framed it very carefully. What was it? So I mean, that's been my issue with Afghanistan is also the way the LBC has been talking about. Ben Wallace, the Defense Secretary, early said about a man who is trapped in Afghanistan, says the British government has abandoned him. Said, well, all due respect, and this is quite fierce language. He was said, all due respect, Nick, that's bollocks. And everyone, well, no, but even then, like everyone started having a go at him for using such uncouth language on national radio, and I thought.
But then sometimes,
but that's kind of true, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I reckon most people in Britain use that word casually in conversation.
yeah, I do.
So let's not have a go at Ben Wallace for using the word bollocks.
I mean, we always use the, and we do apologise if anyone is offended by that word, but still, we might use it. The fact is that we always sort of say that MPs are out of touch the way they speak.
That's exactly how I speak.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm finished. I mean, you've seen me. I say a lot worse when
Yeah.
This is
I think
why
we all do.
I have
We
to
all
measure what I say because I have a live microphone in front of me. But I think the fact we always blast MPs for being out of touch. They'll rattle things around. They'll say, "Oh, well, that's a great question, but what I really want to talk about is this." All right, he's just cut to the nub. All right, he's probably used quite a strong word, but it's true. But it is a shame that quite a few people are, still stuck out there. And there's those horrible scenes happening at Kabul airport of people trying to get out. There was like I don't know if you saw the baby being handed to, was it a Danish soldier or was it an American soldier?
Yeah, it was a Norwegian soldier.
Norwegian, sorry, yeah.
Him,
and I mean, luckily the baby's been reunited with the father, but it's horrible stuff to think about that, you're desperately trying to get out. Those poor people who were, clinging to the outside of the plane as the landing gear. Where, I saw one of the horrible videos where, and I didn't realize it was going to go on that long. One of them had dropped, and you see him actually hit the deck. Once the plane's taken off, and just that how desperate are you? You are preparing
you have to cling on to an aircraft.
Yeah, that's 1,000 foot in the air already after a couple of seconds, and you'd sooner fall to your death than stay under Taliban control. I mean, I just think how have we got to this situation? I feel like I'm back in like 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, but do you know what's insane? It's Rory Stewart summed it up brilliantly in about 2 minutes, and it's been going viral because of how well he summed it up. And when the Americans left, which bear in mind they only had 2,500 troops on the ground.
Yeah,
they took 16,000 civilian contractors with them, who were airport mechanics, plane mechanics. And what they did is they left in the middle of the night without telling anyone. And it was such a low cost operation to preserve so many people's freedoms. And there were barely any, there was actually 0 fatalities for the last couple of years from any troops.
It was stabilized, wasn't it? It was
stable.
It
was a very stable region. And after hearing all of the information, I cannot understand why on earth we left. When realistically, it was such a low-cost operation to preserve supposedly our security, as well as other people's security. I don't see how the governments of the world, of the West, that is, have failed so terribly poorly at doing anything right.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just insane.
I suppose also it's where, let's be honest, the globe is currently having to tighten its belts after the pandemic. The fact that they've got to roll out these rescue packages, these vaccination plans, that are costing. I mean, America, was it $1.6 trillion they've pledged to sort of get the economy going, get everyone.
Well, no,
back
they're
to
also going to
normal.
do another $3.4 trillion debt package.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I suppose they need to try and save wherever they can. And I suppose they also have to think, well, maybe we're not. And again, I don't mean this to sound horrible. Maybe they are not getting what they wanted from going out there. Where we were saying about beforehand about having a foothold in.
Yeah, I mean,
in the East like that. So
personally, they were very well to keep their foothold there, and they've thrown it away. So even if that was the plan, it's gone terribly. And another thing about this was that I remember the other day. Obviously, Tony Blair, the old statesman, makes his comment. He's commented.
Hello,
He
I went to Iraq.
Yeah, he pops up every now and then, and he goes, "Oh, this, that, and the other." And always, I just think nowadays is like, you're not a prime minister. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Why am I hearing from you?
Well, funny enough, didn't he after he left the prime minister's job, didn't he actually get a job as a special envoy for the UN? I mean,
yes, he did.
Talk about someone who
an envoy for peace.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
Tony Blair,
an envoy for peace. Candidate, let's be honest.
No, not really. I can think of better. Oh, Tom, you'd be a better envoy for peace for the UN.
Oh,
come on, lads, down to the pub. We'll sort this out in an hour.
Come on, lads. Right, come on. Let's
go for a nice pint in Winchester and wait for this to blow
over. Exactly. That or just. I tell you what, lads. Let's just have a go on Grand Theft Auto. Right, we'll have a death match. Whoever wins it. Simple as that.
Yeah. Simple stuff. That's how we should sort our issues now. Here's the thing, though, right?
Oh gosh, you've got to have something in common. Who here likes Tottenham? No, just me then. Right, okay.
Right. the thing is that in sort of a terms of like this, LBC decided to have a debate about whether Tony Blair's opinion should be respected on Afghanistan despite his involvement in Iraq. And I just thought, why are we talking about whether Tony Blair is a relevant topic of conversation when we should be talking about why on earth did troops withdraw and how has this happened in the first place? It was such a pointless conversation. Yeah. And then the interviewer herself said, no, I sometimes it can be a bit strange because I'm a woman, but he's very charming. And I just thought, why is this a necessary conversation to have? And why are you making those kind of comments about Tony Blair? I don't care if he's a bit of a charmer. I don't care. I honestly, mate, it really, really annoys me, the kind of conversation that LBC is putting on. And that brings us into our next conversation, which we're going to have after the break. And that is how is the media actually causing all of the societal and social divides that we see today? Because it is not people like me and you who cause the social divides in this country. It is people like Ian Dale and Nick Ferrari, and anyone who works at The Sun who spouts any kind of rhetoric that gives you connotations that anyone who's a Labour supporter thinks that the tiger who came to D is a story about rape or sexism.
Now that we have to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to unpack that in the next section. So please do stay tuned. Me and Tom are going to be right back after this, and we'd love you to call in. The number is 0333 0940. That's 0333 0940. Right, please do stay tuned. Me and Tom will be right back after this.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water, emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world, supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects.
Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Ahoy there, matey. So you want to be a pirate, do you? Well, guess what? You now can at Fairlock Country Park. Come and hire one of our fantastic new boats at the lake. Find us on the tube on the Central Line or drive down from East London. Fun for the whole family, har! You can row, pedal, or even try kayaking. We're open on weekends, all school holidays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come on down and set sail at Fairlock Country Park.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Under your bed.
In your closet.
And we're hiding in your fridge.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson bring you the news
on Revive FM.
Hello, and welcome back to another segment, I should say, not episode, of Scott and Hutch. So that means that you will be listening to us talk about something. Now, Tom, my next topic of conversation for us, which we could really get into, is, again, I was listening to LBC. Because it's the only station I pretty much listen to in my car because I'm a political head and I love listening to it. But recently I've been getting more and more annoyed. And the reason I've been getting more and more annoyed is because in terms of the actual sense of the word, I was listening to Ian Dale, and Ian Dale says, why has this not been a topic of conversation? You know, it's not been nearly as much talked about in the last 20 years. I once tried to do a show on it, and I didn't have many callers calling in to talk about it, whereas now everyone has an opinion.
Well, it's also, you know, the reason why, because 20 years ago, LBC was only broadcast in London.
Well, no, but he says like what, last year or 2 years ago. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, right, is when it comes to a station like LBC, yes, they have lots of callers, but it's called leading Britain's conversation, right? And in terms of what is important and what is not, we'll be listening to the viewers, because when they do a segment on anything, they say to people, well, this is the background to the situation. They get a couple of experts on, they interview a government minister. It's in the news cycle anyways. It's all across the BBC headlines. You know, like every day at the minute, you'll hear the Taliban, Guardian, blah, blah, blah. I've barely heard anything about COVID.
Yeah.
Barely.
So it's just starting to sort of filter out a little bit.
Yes,
now
it is from the news, because the news is now like, people are sick of it. We're not selling enough newspapers. What's the next thing?
Yeah. Taliban.
So when he says, why did we not hear about this? Because I tried to call in. I said, because it's your fault, Ian. It's your fault we've not been talking about this, because you lead the conversation. They said, oh, we'll see if we can fit you in later. So I knew I wasn't getting on the show, because I probably had a valid point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you have a public platform like this, or, you know, if you're talking on this, when we talk to a couple 100,000 a week, or you're talking on LBC and you're talking to millions every week, it is your job to direct the conversation. And something which annoys me is, you know, so firstly, I took issue with yesterday morning when I was driving into work was Nick Ferrari talking about the tiger who came to tea, and he was having a go at Extinction Rebellion, and people and one person on Twitter recently tried to compare the tiger who came to tea, a brilliant children's novel that I had read to me when I was like 3, just like 19, what is it, ages ago now, more than a decade, more than 2 decades, or something like that, whatever, doesn't matter, a long time ago when I was a little baby, is actually a book about sexism and rape and forced entry. And yes, exactly. No, but here's the thing, Tom. It's not a book about that. The person who said that is merely gaslighting. They're only there because they'd like to make some media attention. And well done. It got spoken about by Nick Ferrari on TV. Now, the reason I don't like this being spoken about is because some people will obviously go and do their research and then come to that conclusion themselves and look for something that there which isn't. Because the book is about a tiger who comes to tea and the little girl gives the tiger tea, and it's about being nice.
Yeah, it's a one-dimensional story.
Yes.
Just enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly. Don't read into the lines or how it's about, like, the patriarchy and stuff. It's not. It's a children's
I see. It's something about the Illuminati and
yes,
getting
exactly.
into your lives.
You're getting onto that crazy stuff. And here, you know what annoys me about it is Nick Ferrari chose to take that one person's comment from Twitter or wherever it is, who thinks they're so cool and edgy and woke and bringing this all up. And then they decided to say that, and he decided to put that on the radio.
Yeah.
On the radio for millions of people to hear and get annoyed about.
Yeah.
And this is part of the fundamental problem I think is happening with this country is you will think honestly, automatically the connotations that came into my head is this person will be a Labour supporter, they'll be an extreme socialist, they'll be extreme left wing, they'll be XYZ.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that is because that is the connotation I now get when I hear things like that. And it's bad that people like Nick Ferrari and other LBC presenters and people like The Sun and Lawrence Fox will continuously say that this is an issue. These people are ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. If Nick Ferrari hadn't spoken about it, I wouldn't have known about it and I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have got annoyed.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I find it almost infuriating that we as a society allow this kind of thing to be propelled onto a national forum for public debate. That's the most useless pile of public debate I've ever heard.
It's I'll tell you what, I actually had something happen to me the other day at the pub, right? So I can't remember how we got around to it. This was before I kind of had like a really rubbish weekend and everything, and I kind of went in looking like I was about to go DEFCON 5 and destroy the place on Sunday morning. But we were having a conversation about Demi Lovato.
Mm-hmm.
You know where they've now come out as non-binary.
She's non-binary, isn't she?
Yeah, and gender fluid and all this sort of stuff. And I made the mistake, and this is going to. I don't want to sound like I'm a Luddite or anything like that. And I truly believe anybody, if you want to be gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, whatever you want, pansexual, it's great. Like more power to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I personally think like making such a stigma about these social issues would only further make it a social issue in people's eyes. If you just go, be whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah,
like you were saying.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I have an issue, but I have to drill it into my mind to say they or them or like with Sam Smith.
It's not. But the thing is, right? At least you're trying. Let me guess. You referred to her as her, and somebody took issue with that.
Yes.
Yes. And the thing is,
the best thing was, it wasn't even someone who was in the conversation. It was a customer, right? Who I'd said the word she.
Yeah.
And because I haven't watched it, but I remember she was in, was it High School Musical or Camp Rock,
something
wasn't it?
like that.
Years ago, Disney movie. She's been going, they've been going for about 15 years that movie happened. So in 15 years, I've been referring to Demi Lovato as she or her. I made one slip just like then, and I said,
"Did the world unleash?"
Oh my! They went, you can't say that about Demi Lovato. When sorry, what can't I say? It's not like I've said, oh, do you know what? I would absolutely do X, Y, and Z to her.
Yeah, you've not made a sexist comment like that.
I've just, I just
made
said,
a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, I just said, oh, I tell you what, I really like that song that she did, and it was Call for the Summer. And you can't say that. The Demi Lovato, if you've actually read, has changed their pronouns to they and them. So I was like, okay, I said, that's a Freudian slip then. I said, I apologize. No, but this is the problem with people like you and the reason why you're bringing the world down. And
here's the problem with that, though. I completely agree with you, it's all fine to bring up like, oh, by the way, it's they.
Yeah.
Firstly, it doesn't matter too much. I don't think most people care.
Hmm.
And secondly, I think people are very respectful in general.
Yeah.
So if you've
It's
made
not like
that
I'm
mistake,
going,
yeah,
"Oh,
it's not like
she's-
yeah, exactly. You've not said
doing
anything
slurs or anything like that."
derogatory.
Yeah.
You've not said anything wrong. This is the thing about this kind of like public debate, and this is what LBC has an issue with.
Exactly.
You know, what on earth are we supposed to do in society if all we're being told is that we're to behave in such a manner that where we attack people for making small mistakes, or attack people for incorrectly using an incorrect pronoun on someone. It starts to become so difficult. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do that at all, but I am saying we need more tolerance.
When it's warranted, then absolutely fantastic. Like if you see someone making a homophobic slur or a racial slur, sorry, then go for the jugular. Don't just because it's a Freudian slip. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I came out the other day and I actually joked to like my dad saying, I think I've just been cancelled. He went, what do you mean? I went, oh, I said I made the mistake of calling Demi Lovato she, and someone went right for me. And I started laughing at it, and I just thought, you know what? I had to resist the urge to do the Buzz Lightyear thing from Toy Story. I just had to go over and go, you are a sad, strange little person, and I have your pity. And you have my pity.
And do you know what the thing is? I think in a public debate of things, I think everyone is fine with correctly identifying someone as whatever and using the correct pronouns.
Yeah.
Nobody minds doing that. But it's when certain people take issue with your simple mistake, people automatically feel offended and there's social pressure on them.
Yeah.
And then you get people on the opposite end of the spectrum start coming out saying, no, I will not be branded this and that because I'm not. And then they start pronouncing rhetoric which sounds the opposite direction, like Lawrence Fox. And you start sounding like Lawrence Fox.
Yeah.
Who's like so woke and anti-woke and all this stuff. And it's ridiculous because there's no need for that kind of political spectrum.
Yeah.
There's no need for somebody
That
like
one
Lawrence
comment
Fox.
can twist someone into actually being the thing that they
Exactly
that they are not.
And it's so unnecessary. We as a society need to realize that I think the public don't actually care. I think a vast majority of the public are very fine with what's going on and they couldn't care less. And it's just obviously the people who want to be in the spotlight, people who call into LBC, people who present on LBC, people on Twitter, they're all there to have their opinions heard.
That's it.
And it's a pure example of how modern can I be and get the most kind of praise, like doing the clap Twitter, the things like this is how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's like this is it's not something which is necessary. And what I'd rather hear about from the news and LBC, frankly, is real factual information.
Yeah.
And a proper high level of public debate about issues which are not in the limelight.
Yeah, like Jeremy Vine, for example, when because I've heard sometimes when like if I'm doing a long journey, I'm in the car with my dad because he listens to radio too. Jeremy Vine will talk about things that are say headlines in the news, but also we'll talk about things which you might consider to be sort of I don't know a third of the way into your daily newspaper.
Yeah,
for example.
exactly.
You know, it can be like local stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like a care home has banned residents from I don't know from wearing green because it offends someone who doesn't like green because they're colorblind or something like that, so that's what you need. And also I suppose it depends on also who is the editor of that station or the boss of LBC, because I know like for example on Radio X, which is their sister station, they get a lot of stick for playing Oasis like religiously, and if it's not Oasis, it's Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. If it's not Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, it's Liam Gallagher. And they go, well, the fact is Oasis was a big part of music. That's a big part of our library. And also, we are a commercial station. We have to play a certain amount of songs in a certain order at a certain amount of times to fulfill our contracts with the record companies. So, I suppose it depends. And also the fact that they, maybe the person on that will like Oasis or like Foo Fighters or whoever. But yeah, I think sometimes maybe they need to see, I would say with like an LBC, maybe it needs like not just one person in charge. Maybe it needs a few people in charge who have different opinions. Maybe that needs to be like an idea.
Because the problem with that, I find, is usually it'll just end up like Bloomberg or CNN with a shouting match, with televised shouting.
Oh no,
matches.
I don't mean on the shows. I mean as in the actual as in the people behind the scenes who run the actual the station.
No, the problem is with LBC, it's down to the one person. So Nick Ferrari, it's his show. He can talk about whatever he likes, and that's his liberty. Like he had a swipe at Extinction Rebellion this morning, but. Do you know what? Another problem I have with the media is how misleading how much they mislead the British public. The Sun, The Sun is
Scouser's
obviously a
favourite paper.
terrible article. An article in the Sun claimed back in November of 2015 that 1 in 5 UK Muslims had sympathy for jihadis, which the news press regulator ruled was misleading.
Exactly.
You know, it had 3,000 complaints, and I'm glad it did.
Yeah, and
But
it's like, where does it was? You say that 3,000 complaints for that, but then there's 24,000 complaints for someone shouting on Love Island, like to Ofcom. But you have to feel like it's what I'm saying in the break to you. Like, where do they get this tripe from? Because you can't quote the Office of National Statistics about that and go,
oh yes, well we have it written down here that 1 in 4 either has
because it's not on
sympathy
the
for-
ONS. It's not.
Exactly.
It's absolutely not. And
Yeah.
anyone who says it is a liar.
Exactly.
But another thing was, right, so I remember I was speaking with a friend of mine on a car ride recently who told me that he was worried about all the immigration coming from across the channel and how it was dire straits, and France needs to do more to stop it. And that's been rhetoric in the media. The Sun, Priti Patel saying France needs to do their part to stop immigrants coming over to us. You know, it's not our job. But the thing is, right?
They say that, but then we're then taking in 20,000 people from Afghanistan.
No, but
how does that work?
No. It's not even. That's not even what I'm getting at. You would think that the UK channel, the English channel, or whatever the Europeans call it, we call it the English channel. I found out the Europeans don't call it the English channel. They just call it the channel. Or the channel. I don't know. They don't call it the English channel because it's not England's.
Canal Manus as opposed to Canal Bleu.
Yeah, but anyway, listen. Here's the thing. In 2019, do you know how many asylum applicants? Have a guess. And in 2019, how many asylum applications there were to the UK?
I'm going to say, plucking a number out here. Let's say there's successful or just in general?
No, just how many applications?
In general. Okay, I'm going to say 25,000.
Okay, right. Well, it's 35,000.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, the way the media portrays it, you would think that there are, hundreds of thousands of people trying to claim asylum in this country. It peaked at 2002 at 84,000.
Yeah, but it's like also when you see those videos of the people coming along on the dinghies. You think it's like one after the other after the other.
And it's not because, and even so, France needs to do their bit, right? Do you know how many applications for asylum there were in France?
I'm going to say
in 2020.
I'm going to say a lot less.
No, a lot more.
A lot more, really? How many?
Yeah, well, 93,000.
Wow.
Have been registered as asylum seekers by the Ministry of Interior. And this was compared to 151,000
now, is it because
in 2019. And here's the thing, Tom.
Is that because they're all coming from the continent?
Yes, we don't have an immigrant issue. We don't have a refugee issue. France has a refugee issue, and yet we're still saying to France, you need to do more.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
It's literally like this is such small amount of numbers coming across the channel. It's not even, but the way the media portrays it, you would think there's like a boat after boat after boat after boat after boat, and thousands coming every day, and we're being overrun by supposed terrorists.
Yeah.
It's just not the case.
I know.
It's just not.
But it goes to show you like how pictures can be taken out of context. I mean, like you see those.
Well, it's like Nigel Farage getting on a boat, isn't it?
Oh, funny.
He gets on a boat
and Kate Hopkins just halfway out and then just put a puncher in it.
No,
That's
but I know. But the thing is, Nigel Farage, you remember last year, Nigel Farage was doing some stupid news videos and he went out on a boat in COVID on a dinghy to the English Channel, and went up to some immigrants and was like, oh, why are you coming? And they're like, well, we're just coming to the UK. And the man was ridiculed online. Thank goodness.
I mean, let's be honest with you. You got people who are clinging on to their last possessions, fighting for a new hit, and all of a sudden there's this douche in a beaten three-piece suit and a tie comes up to you and goes, "Hello, why are you coming to this country when we don't want you here? We don't, you're not the right color or anything like that. We don't want you here. So why are you coming over?"
Well, but also, what is it? He went to a hotel in Portsmouth in the middle of COVID and it was being used to house asylum seekers and immigrants, and he took issue with the hotel and took issue with the UK government for spending taxpayer money on housing asylum seekers and refugees. What kind of morals does a man have to be worried about how £35 a night is being spent on keeping someone warm, dry, and safe and processing their asylum application, which very might well be valid,
Yeah.
and then coming and making a life here in this country. We are a nation of immigrants.
Yeah.
As is the US, as is the rest of the world.
Exactly.
There is no one thing as a native Brit or a native American citizen.
We are, we originally we were conquered by the Italians back in the day. We,
And we've
we're
been
a bit of everything.
Yeah,
We've been by many
and the
people.
Vikings and the Norwegian and the Scandinavian. There's nothing to say. It just, I just can't get it round my head as to how the media is all the main problem in this, that propel this idea that we're some country which is overrun by immigration, overrun by EU migrants taking our jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And propelling that. And then on top of that, you've got Nick Ferrari propelling the idea that Extinction Rebellion are nuisances, and other presenters as well, and other news outlets saying Extinction Rebellion are idiots, when in actual fact, their argument's mostly valid. They just have wombats who get put on the news.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think, like you say, it's the argument is not the problem. It's the way they go about doing stuff. Like I still love the bit of the guy who glued himself to the bus.
Yeah,
now I have to question. I'll just say this quickly. I have to question the glue that was being used. I mean, let's be honest, that was probably made in a factory with loads of chemicals and things like that. Probably not exactly the best thing, for the environment. Oh no, I'm complaining about sort of the way the environment is being destroyed. Sorry, mate, didn't you use Yoo-hoo? Hang on, now we've got to use a solvent.
Tom,
I've
got to disagree with you there, man.
I'm just saying.
No, I disagree with you there. And do you know why? Because yes, I agree with you. The glue is probably bad for the environment.
Yeah.
But there's no irony in that, in my eyes, because
or the guy who was complaining about the DLR being polluting. It's an electric train.
Yeah. Well, but even then, mate, like I think that it depends on how you look at it. I look at it from a perspective of climate change will disrupt my life. You remember in the floods in July?
Oh yeah.
They kind of disrupted my life in the same way that Extinction Rebellion does. Road was flooded, I can't use it. Extinction Rebellion blocks the road, I can't use it.
Yeah.
And I'm complaining about their disruption when the disruption from the rain is fine.
No,
well, it's not.
Yeah, I think, like I
But
say,
what I will say is that the reason I don't like sometimes XR have absolute wombats that go on the TV, and they are just terrible at. They're just terrible at conveying a message.
They're not media trained.
No, I'm sorry. There's plenty of media trained people in that organization. I've met them.
Yeah.
And they speak very well and they're very smart. Do they ever get to go on TV? No. I don't know why.
Because they don't have the look.
I don't even know if it's that, mate. I just. But do you know what's quite interesting is have you been disrupted by Extinction Rebellion this year?
Not this year. No.
Neither have I.
Can't say I have.
Neither
no.
have I.
No.
Their disruption is so localized to London.
Yeah.
And
it's
Nick,
central London.
Yeah,
like
and Nick Ferrari was saying like, oh, is any lorry drivers driving into London? Are you being disrupted? And nobody called in because it's so localized. And even black cabbies don't actually care. They are organising their own protests.
Yes, about their conditions.
About their conditions, about TfL. And they frankly think that Extinction Rebellion are doing a great job because it's necessary. I haven't met one person who thinks that XR have done a bad job, other than the people on LBC who are very minority disagree with.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I completely agree. I think that we are mucking this world up. We are openly admitting that. I mean, we're supposed to be having these sort of heat waves. So far, all we've been getting is washouts. And
September. Looking forward to 27 degrees
in 2025. But like, I just think that it's absolutely fine. I agree with their right to protest, but I just think that when it starts getting either violent or it's getting a bit stupid, like we saw some of the ones, when they were gluing themselves to trains or whatever, that's when it's a problem. When you're starting to either injure yourself or put others at risk, that's maybe when you need to start.
Well, that's what they got to do. There's no easy way to block a train or stop a bus.
Well,
I think it's great. I think they've got to do it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's probably a good thing I wasn't in charge of the train, because I'm just saying I might have just inched it forward a bit. So hang on. I'm moving it. But you know me, I'm quite evil.
Yeah, you are. All right. Anyway, aside from Tom's hatred of blocking trains and my love of it, we will be going to a short break. Do stay tuned, with me and Tom Hutchinson. We'll be right back after this.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 079 44 56 5616. That's 079 44 56 5616.
Turkish Kitchen.
the best Turkish food you'll ever taste. We only use the highest quality meat. Along with our mixed grill platters, we serve cold mezes, hot mezes, lamachin, and a wide selection of fish options. To order for delivery or collection, call us now on 0208 507 8822. That's 0208 507 8822. Or visit us at 41 Ripple Road, Barking, IG11 7NT. We can also take group bookings and take care of all your party needs. The Turkish Kitchen, Barking.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water. Emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world. Supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects.
Call us now 0300 3030 777 or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam including tajweed, fiqh, seerah and aqidah, we endeavour to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrolment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Rumford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Does your pizza excite you? The London Pizza Depot invites you on a journey with our worldwide inspired pizzas. To the smoke and jerk drums of Jamaica, to savor the Caribbean hot, to sunny California, to enjoy the greatest invention, the Cali cheeseburger. Transport yourself with every bite. Our authentically prepared hand-stretched dough, freshly diced veg, finest cuts of halal meat, and our 100% mozzarella cheese ensures the delivery of a masterpiece every time. Visit www.londonpizzadepot.co.uk or our branches in Ilford or Plaistow. Now you can enjoy buy one pizza, get one free every Tuesday. T's and C's apply.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Sood. Let's face it, lockdown has left many of us carrying some extra weight. But extra weight can put pressure on our bodies, making it harder to fight diseases like cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So now is a great time for us to get our weight on track. The Better Health website has lots of free tools and tips to get you started. So for help and support to lose weight, search Better Health. Let's do this.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello, hello. You're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott. I'm here in the studio with my wonderful co-host
Tom Hutchinson.
That's right. Now, update for you.
Yes, we have some breaking news.
We do have some breaking news. Boris Johnson has come out of the G7 meeting, and he says that the Taliban must guarantee safe passage for evacuees. However, the US will still be leaving they'll still be leaving Kabul airport by the 31st. They will not be. Then they've already made a statement that the G7 wants to help, but the US will be leaving.
Yeah.
So,
So they've basically got a week
Boris
to
is-
get every American national
exactly
out.
But the rest of the G7 is going to stay.
Yeah.
Biden is going to stick with the 31st of August withdrawal. But Boris Johnson and the rest of the G7, including the EU, said they have a moral duty to Afghans and their citizens, and that they must have more time to get their people out. And the insistence will be made to the Taliban leaders.
And the
later
fact
this
is
week.
that if you've got, let's say, there's 6 members of the G7 have said that.
Mhm.
If you're the Taliban, you are not going to want to risk firing a shot or a salvo against 6 of the biggest countries or 6 of the most powerful countries in the world. So if they're all going, yeah, we're going to stay here longer and we're going to make sure everybody's out, that that they are going to have to listen and they're going to have to respect it. If it was just one country, then I think they go, yeah, well, it doesn't matter, you're getting out. But I think the fact that you've got 6 of them, if they fight against one nation, the other 5 are going to be out for blood, aren't they? Like it's
Yeah.
But fingers crossed that just everyone gets out safely. That's
Definitely.
all we can hope.
Right. Okay. Obviously, on Scott and Hutch, we like to keep things light towards the end of one of our hours. We'll be coming back to more and more fun things that are going on in current affairs around the world in our next hour on the show. That's until 6 p.m. But for now, we have a news segment, which we've been wanting to debut for about a week.
Yep.
And so that means it's
time
for celebrity encounters. Maybe you hit Prince Charles with a shoe, or slipped in a loo with your coat or two. Whatever it is, we don't really care. We're here to talk to you. All right.
I was just about to try to go barbershop. Go.
It's celebrity encounters. So me and Tom, basically, I mean, what happened? I accidentally met Brian Cox in a bathroom in the Royal Albert Hall while he was having a wee. And my mate Ben Goodman, who was there with me, walked in over to the urinals and he said, "Oh, hey, Brian Cox," and of course he comes out. And he's not no Tom. He comes out of the corner and he's actually there and I'm like, oh my god, it's actually Brian Cox. We just were like, he was still doing up his belt and stuff, and we were like, we're really sorry to ask, but can we have a selfie, please? And of course, Brian Cox was, I imagine he's so nice because he said yes he would, and I reckon that was such an intrusion of personal and private space.
just a bit.
So
the man had his D-Ream hanging out, and you were asking for a selfie. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, it's not my finest moment, Tom. I'll be very honest.
Don't worry, mate. Things can always get better.
Because but either way, me and Tom came up with the brilliant ideas after my, as he calls it, Slash Gordon moment. Yeah, he thought it would be a very good idea to actually ask the public, the public, about your awkward celebrity encounters. So that is exactly what I have decided to do. I've asked my Instagram followers, some of them,
the many people. We've literally had some responses.
So many people, my goodness, about their awkward celebrity encounters.
Yes.
So my friend Yasmin says that she casually walked past Ed Sheeran in a hotel, but didn't realize it was him until afterwards.
Oh,
I know
that could have been interesting. You could have asked for a picture with the Ed Sheeran.
Exactly.
Ed.
Somebody called my friend Lottie.
Somebody called my friend Lottie.
Says she taught Brian Adams' daughter how to sail and then forgot her name in front of him.
Wow.
I know. How awkward was that? Ethan Jacobs says, I sang to a very drunk Greg Wallace in a box in the O2 Arena. Classic Greg.
Nice.
And then we've got Freya Barker, a friend of mine who's also on radio up in Durham. She says, not awkward at all, but I did get to meet Stephen Fry at the Hay Festival, and we realized that our favorite book is the same. Also, he liked me so much that he gave me a drawing that was in his talk and signed it, and now now it is framed and hanging in my bedroom. Mic drop.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I mean,
that is pretty cool.
Stephen Fry. I mean, it's got to be number one on like your celebrity dinner party, isn't it?
No, not for me.
Who would you have? All right. You can have.
I've
three guests.
Well, hold on. Okay. You're putting this kind of pressure on me, Tom.
Oh yeah,
it's quite rude. Okay. 3 guests. No, who's yours? I'll think about it.
So Stephen Fry,
right?
Valentino Rossi, and for my mum, because I always remember she was telling me he was a great storyteller, Peter Ustinov, who's like playwright, director, right? Like a great raconteur. Those would be the people I would like. I mean, Stephen Fry, he could read you a shopping list, and it would make it sound not only smart.
Do they have to be alive?
Well, no, because Peter Ustinov's been dead for the best part.
Okay, so they can be
years.
dead. Okay, well, I mean, I'm obviously going to ask Winston Churchill to tea.
That'd be good
because that would be quite cool.
That would be.
I'd also ask Charles Dance.
Oh, Charles Dance would be good. My
Yeah.
sister would like you for that.
And I'd also ask who else.
I'd have to ask him though. Like,
what's his name? The guy that plays Picard in Star Trek.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. I'd ask Patrick Stewart.
I tell you what, I'd have
Pretty
to.
cool.
You'd have to just go, Charles. I know you're a great Shakespearean actor. I know you've been in The Crown, but Ali G in the house. That you in that PVC
Excellent
skirt.
acting. Excellent acting. Do you know what it is though? Okay, so we've actually got more. I've had more.
Go on,
since,
go for it. Go for it.
So obviously going back to our awkward celebrity encounters, Catherine Blacknell says that she had to waitress at a party for all of the Made in Chelsea staff.
I mean,
and cast. Sorry.
I mean, do they count as celebrities?
I don't really know. I don't know any of their names. Anyway, moving on from that, my cousin from New Zealand has said that she was working and met Israel Adesanya, who's a New Zealand boxer, finished her shift and then had drinks with him.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Nice one, cuz.
Not bad.
And then something quite funny, which I know my friends in the National Youth Choir would get. She says she accidentally witnessed Ben Parry, the artistic director of National Youth Choir, get pied by Michael Sheen, who wouldn't come to... Who would? Yeah, wouldn't get an autograph.
I've just been watching Staged on Netflix. I've got a new respect for Michael. It is so funny because it's quite funny to see Michael Sheen. I mean, it's
oh my goodness, mate! I was at that Royal Albert Hall gig I was at. No offense to Michael Sheen, he's a great actor. Like he was really incredible. Yeah. But I came in on stage to a packed audience, the Royal Albert Hall, looking like he'd been dragged through a bush.
Has he still got the bushy hair and the
beard?
Yeah.
And his suit didn't fit and it was baggy. Listen, we've only got 2 minutes, so let's save the story for the next bit. All right. I've still got some more here.
Go on.
Some of my friends.
It's not Fergal. Has he kicked a celebrity swan?
No, that's random acts of kindness, which we've got coming up after the break. Somebody says, I actually accidentally got to meet a guy named Henry Scott. Big love. Thanks, Alex. Missing you, man. And then also Maddie Brown has also said meeting former MP candidate and the youngest in the UK, Henry Scott, was pretty awkward. Yeah. Thanks, Liv. Thanks, Maddie. You're so kind.
I'll tell you what, I've got 2 awkwards, but we'll do it.
Quickly, go. No, let's do it. Let's do it.
One was I met Carrie Fisher at Comic-Con years ago. This was 2014. I was dressed as the 10th Doctor. It was in the Olympia, which was boiling hot because it was the summer. And I had on a suit, a tie, and a big wool overcoat. And all of a sudden, Carrie Fisher, one of my childhood crushes, comes in. And the first word she says to me was, you're really sweating. And I was like, yeah, I said, I'm boiling. I said, well, why don't you take your coat off? I didn't want to tell her that I had sort of like, a really sweaty back. And I said, well, it's part of the outfit. She said, and you just thought, why the hell not? And I was like, yeah. So I basically got cut down by Carrie Fisher. And then the other one was I went out to dinner with my mum's friend who works for WWE, and a bunch of WWE legends, including late great commentator Mean Gene Okerlund. Wow. To the point that my mum's friend was trying to pass me off as Mean Gene's grandson so that I could meet 2 lovely ladies who were coached out or parked outside the hotel and invite them in for drinks and other sort of refreshing activities. That was quite fun, being basically classed as my mum's friend being technically my pimp. Whilst also like being, sponging off the celebrity of someone who was nowhere related to me. Fun times.
Nice one.
And on that bombshell.
Do you know what? Before that bombshell, I've just remembered I actually had one more awkward celebrity encounter at the Royal Albert Hall.
Go on, sir.
I was standing in the corridor and we were sort of like, because we'd just seen Brian Cox, we thought, right, the celebrities come to this bathroom. Let's wait out here.
Hang on, I've got my coin ready for the name drop.
What was it? Charles Dance walked past, and we ended up. I was like, "Oh, Charles Dance, how are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing really well, thanks." He's so tall.
Oh yeah,
he's like, wow. And as he was walking away, I just went to my mates. Wow, he's just so cool. He must be the coolest bloke alive. And he turns around and goes, "Yes." And then walks on.
That is the sign of a cool man.
Exactly. Anyway, right, that's awkward celebrity encounters.
Time for celebrity encounters. Maybe you hit Prince Charles with a shoe, or slipped in a loo with your coat or two. Whatever it is, we don't really care. We're here to talk to you.
Anyway, right, me and Tom have got to go to a break. Do stay tuned as we'll be right back after these messages. After that pretty horrific jingle, do stay tuned as me and Scott. Let's just go to break.
Does your pizza excite you? The London Pizza Depot invites you on a journey with our world's most inspired pizzas. With a smoking Jamaica Jamaica to savor the Caribbean hot, sunny California to enjoy the greatest invention, canny cheeseburger. Transport yourself with every bite. Our authentically prepared hand-stretched dough, freshly diced veg, finest cuts of lamb meat, and our 100% mozzarella cheese ensures the delivery of a masterpiece every time. Visit www.londonpizzadepot.co.uk or our branches in Ilford or Padstow. Now you can enjoy buy one pizza get one free every Tuesday. T's and C's apply.
मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन में आपका अतिया जिंदगी की उम्मीद आपकी मदद से मुमकिन हुआ। दुनिया भर में 30 लाख से ज्यादा खवातीन, बुजुर्गों और बच्चों मुतासिर इलाकों में हंगामी इमदाद, यतीम और बेसहारा रसी। इस साल हम आपके ताउन से और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं। अपनी ज़कात, सदकात और खैरात के जरिए इन मंसूबों का हिस्सा बनिए। अभी कॉल कीजिए 0300 3030 777 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org।
Thinking of selling or letting your property? Need someone reliable to find the best prospect for your home? Well, look no further. Cameron Adams is here to take care of all your needs. Our professional and experienced team will guide you through the entire process and ensure you find the right buyer for your property. For a no obligation quotation, contact us now on 0208 558 2000. That's 0208 558 2000. Or visit us at 30 Church Lane in Leytonstone. Cameron Adams, always at your service.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah, and Aqidah, we endeavor to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals, and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrollment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_london@minhajuk.org.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
The Career Link Project is a free employment and careers service aimed at supporting young BAME women to navigate a path towards a successful future. If you're 16 or over and currently out of work, you could receive up to 10 months of personalised one-on-one career support and skills-based training to help you secure your future. Get in touch with us today on 07862 035 511 or email us at clp@tffn.co.uk. The Career Link Project, your future in your hands.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 079 44 56 5616. That's 079 44 56 5616.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online. This is
Revive FM.
94.0. With the latest news from around the world. This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello there. You are listening to Revive FM 94.0. It is the second hour of Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson, and joining me in the studio this week is my amazing co-host
Henry Scott.
And yes, we are your only source for up-to-the-date news, if you know what I mean. If not,
So stay in tune.
Exactly. Stay tuned, and let's be honest. Well,
we do. I think we do the news better around.
I think we do. I mean, let's be honest. We can't be worse than GB News, can we? I mean, have you seen that station lately? They're actually talking about.
I haven't because it's been so bad.
Yeah, they're actually talking about doing a rebranding after a couple of months, which is
quite bad.
It's pretty shocking. Well, the fact that Alistair Stewart actually had to have a horse riding accident, so he couldn't be on it for a while. Right, I found really interesting.
On purpose horse riding accident.
I think it might have been on. I think it might have been on purpose.
Like Andrew Neil disappearing after 3 weeks.
Yeah, they never actually found out what that was it? They never actually said
they just
the
kind
reason.
of glossed over it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean that's good. Your chairman wanders off after a few weeks. I mean, who does he think he is? Ryan Reynolds. So anyway, we are. We are here.
Swipes from you today, Tom.
I'm sorry. I love a bit of Ryan Reynolds. We have.
I can tell.
Of course, you love a bit of Ryan Reynolds. How can you not? He's God's favorite idiot, as he often proclaims to himself. So we might as well carry on where we left off, and let's carry on with a bit of news.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop.
On Revive FM.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we are back with a bit more news for you because, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? I mean,
exactly.
We've only been doing this for 12 months and we've only got 3 more left. Our time is running out.
I know.
It's
a real shame.
I know.
It'll be fine, man.
I know.
We'll always. It'll be like the odd reunion where everyone's like, "Oh no way, Scott! Now you're back together."
I know.
No way.
The reunion episode. Hey, we could do that thing in 10 years' time, like I did with Friends. We'll have James Corden presenting it.
Yes, when he's washed up.
Yeah,
washed up.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great, wouldn't it? Just think about it. In 10 years' time, we're gonna have a comedian going.
I'm not gonna lie, Tom. If James Corden ever said to me, because he had a deadbeat career and was trying to use us to get back into the spotlight, says I'll do it for free, you'll get loads of media exposure, I'd still say no, because I just cannot stand James. No.
It's just the fact. Oh no, it's more like this. Hang on, I've got to do it away from the microphone because it's loud. But it's when it goes.
It's that, and it really annoys me. And the second I saw him on the Friends reunion, I just turned it off.
Yeah,
like, nope.
Or when you watch him on A League of Their Own. No, when you watch him on A League of Their Own, and he would always do this with his arm.
Yeah, the
with
weird
every syllable
arm thing. Yeah,
making like a weird DJ kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, who talks like that? Oh, anyway,
news.
Yes, we've got a bit of news.
What have you got?
Well, basically just going back on with Karen, what we were talking about at the top of the hour with Ben,
Afghanistan.
A little bit, not too much, because we want to be a little bit more lighthearted. But
Ben Wallace better not resign.
Well, it's actually funny enough. That's one of the things I was talking about. It was just that Ben Wallace has said that it's unlikely that the August 31st deadline to pull troops out of Afghanistan will be extended, which is now quite funny because obviously
that guidance has
it's now been changed. So it goes to show you just how quickly that news can alter, really. But I mean, I know I said it earlier on, but I just feel like, what is the actual, how can I say it? How have we got back to this after 20 years of being out there? It's like, it's so, it's so peculiar.
It's quite sad and ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you, do you know what? Should we talk about something else?
Yes, I was thinking about that. I was thinking we could talk about something more cheery, like COVID.
Oh, I was just you read my mind, sir. I had a little COVID story as well.
What is it? The weekly COVID deaths have been higher since March.
Yes, well, that as well. But we've had 174 deaths, COVID-related deaths in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been 100 deaths a day for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we've had there's also the reports that there was Latitude Festival, that was about a month ago. 1,000 positive cases came out of that. Now, bearing in mind, everybody needed to have either a negative lateral flow test or proof of double vaccination, and there's 1,000 cases come out of that. There's a couple of hundred that have come out of Boardmasters in Cornwall. to the point that local governments are now advising people in Cornwall to carry on testing
And-
regularly.
And people are being told to stay away from Cornwall as well.
Yeah, this is because this was the thing. I mean, this is what happened. We know when we were allowed to go out last year. Remember when restrictions eased a little bit?
Yeah.
Everybody legged it down to Cornwall, myself included.
Yeah.
And we were. It's funny. Everyone was being told stay away, but then when we got there, they couldn't have been more hospitable. They
Yeah, I mean, they're
so
after the
grateful to have us
business,
there.
aren't they?
Exactly.
Well, but here's the thing as well, Tom. I was
Just use your common sense if
but
you are going to go away.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
would
do you know
say.
what was it? This summer was obviously much more interesting than last summer because
Yeah.
people were raring to go this summer.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
last summer everyone was still scared.
Yeah.
About
I think we're just over it now. That's
COVID.
the
Yeah,
problem,
and I think in the
which is a
winter as
worry.
well, people were more over it as well. They'd been enjoying their summer, and people didn't want to go back
Yeah.
inside. Hence why it got so bad.
Mm.
So I just think it's, I don't know. It's a bit of a difficult situation. I personally think we're going to have one more COVID lockdown. As much as that, makes me feel a bit ill.
Yeah, well, remember
and
the
then
famous,
we'll be done.
It's an irreversible lockdown,
Which
isn't
is
it?
untrue.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
literally Chris Whitty said a few months after, it's like, we'll probably have to reintroduce restrictions in
Yeah.
the winter. So I think, Boris Johnson as a leader continues. I'm sorry, he's a terrible politician, actually. I know I've said he's a good politician in the past, but there's a simple politician thing to do, and it's under promise and over deliver. Boris
Yeah.
Johnson always over promises and
always
under delivers every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah, he's basically the actually no, I'm not going to say the name of the manufacturer. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but a certain electronics retailer that sounds like a
Samsung.
Oh no, an electronics retailer. As in
Been
shop.
waiting for a new fridge for a while now. It's broken.
Yeah, and then that's what happened with me. I was ordering one. I was told it was going to come on the 12th, and then half an hour before the guys were supposed to go home, the van miraculously breaks down. And then I was then told they're going to do a manual delivery. It'd be out for Friday morning for you, first thing. I was like, great, I need it in before midday. Called up at 8 a.m. Oh, we have no delivery for you at all. I'm actually going somewhere else for it's £100 more expensive. So thank you very much, Curry's. Oh, sorry, I wasn't going to mention it. Was I? Whoops.
Well, listen. Your personal beef with Curry's is not comparable to the likes of Boris. Or maybe it is.
Maybe it is a little bit, But
anyway,
got beef.
aside from
that could be a new thing. Beef with Boris. This week's beef with Boris.
No, I feel like that's very one-sided. We need let's keep it clear here.
Or
something like that.
Hang on, who's the Lib Dem one? Who's the Lib Dem leader? That's sad, isn't it? We don't actually know who the Lib Dem is.
Ed Davey, is that the bloke?
Ed Davey.
Something like
Where's your Ed at? Where's your Ed at? No, maybe not.
No, maybe not. Anyway, moving on from.
So I'll tell you what,
pretty horrific.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of fishy puns, Nicola Sturgeon has announced that they are she's going to be holding a public inquiry into the handling of the COVID pandemic by the end of the year. The Scottish government has also confirmed they're doing their own independent one, which is different from the rest of the UK.
Oh, why?
Because we're Scottish, we have to be different.
You know what
to
I love
everybody
about
else.
this whole pandemic, Tom, is that in Scotland is continuously.
We're doing it on our own.
We're doing it on our own now. That's literally them, like all the time.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know, of course you know this. You've been there with me, pointing this out along the way.
Exactly.
It's been insane.
Come on, everybody. We need to unite and fight this pandemic together. Get their way out of here. We're doing this on our own. We're Scottish.
What is it? So the British Parliament released the Coronavirus Act 2020, and then the Scottish Parliament, like a month later, it's like, we're releasing the new legislation of the British legislation, but for Scottish legislation that we're releasing today to announce that Scotland is doing exactly what England is doing, along in line with the rest of the UK. But just because we're going to be Scottish and I want to be on the TV and get polls boost every night, I'm going to reintroduce the Scottish legislation again and again and again and again.
Oh.
My goodness, what a ridiculous politician and person. I just think it's stupid.
Just think, this is the country that when they become independent from England and Wales and Northern Ireland, they're then going to be absolutely bankrupt because you're going to be reintroducing. You're going to be spending a fortune just on paper.
Yeah, we're
just
just
to get it done.
reintroducing the euro, and there's going to be so many menu costs and tax forms, and they're not going to be able to keep the pound. And what are we going to do with all that money? It's just,
I know
it's going to be crazy.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, if they devolve and they come away from us, then that's it. They can't use the pound.
They
can
can't come back.
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder will the pound actually be stronger without Scotland?
If we can't go back to the euro, they ain't got no chance of going back to the pound. That's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Well, no, but if they go back to the European Union, they're not even going to get into the European Union.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just not. Like, they've got so much debt, which is like, to be an EU member, they have issues with that. Also, one other EU
Yeah, but in
members
fairness,
also
most-
are France is opposed to Scotland becoming a member.
Yeah, but hang on. I swear that most of the EU countries are in their own debt. Like, what about Greece and Turkey and everything? I swear they are really strapped for cash. They're always strapped for cash.
Greece isn't anymore. Yeah, well, they had something called a structural adjustment program instigated in the crisis itself in 2011. It was
So basically, like they've restructured their debt and got one of
no.
those
Do you
Martin
know what
Lewis
it was?
finance cards.
These were quite controversial programs, structural adjustment programs. I was
Hmm.
reading about this. Basically, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, used to lend loads of money to countries who were bankrupt.
And that is basically the World's Bank, isn't it?
Yeah, or there's the World Bank as well.
Oh, right.
There's the IMF and the World Bank. They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
The IMF has backing from different countries. It's a very big economic organization, but they bail out countries, and they bailed out Greece. And what they said to Greece is, you have to do these economic policies. And they basically said to a country, a sovereign nation, you have to implement these policies, i.e., you must cut spending and you must increase taxes.
Yeah.
And they told them what they had to do in order to get the loan. Now, yes, it brought down Greek debt, but at the same time, I don't imagine it would be very nice to be someone in Greece and having your taxes increased not by your own government and not having a say in the matter.
Yeah, but then I mean, the fact is that they were so close. I mean, it was a bit like Iceland, where they actually went bankrupt, wasn't it? Like, you can't keep spending. This is what happens with companies. They can't keep spending the way they are because they're never going to get out of that hole.
Well,
they have to have someone.
Yeah, I mean,
come in. They're basically they were like a what do they call them? What's when you go into administration, you bring in like a company.
Administrators.
Yeah, administrators. That's it. Yeah, bring in administrators. That's
Well
basically
done,
what they
well done,
would.
Tom.
Thank you. I get there in the end. I'm a bit slow, but I get there in the end. I should run for prime minister. But that's. That's kind of what the IMF, by the sounds of it, were doing. They were effectively being their administrators, saying, "Look, if you want to come out of this, this is the way you're going to do it." They're kind of like a bit like an administrative version of Martin Lewis, really. But I mean, obviously, if it's worked, if they're out of, if they're now out of debt or their debt amount has actually reduced at least, then it's worked, isn't it? So,
oh my goodness,
what's up?
Sorry, just a bit of news.
Good, mate.
Ryanair has pulled out of flights from Northern Ireland. So there's no flights from Northern Ireland to the UK or any Ryanair flights in Northern Ireland.
Hang on.
Wow.
So hang on. Sorry. So an Irish carrier is now not flying to Northern
Hold
Ireland.
on, Tom. You might annoy a few people there. Remember, they're separated. One is Northern Ireland and one is Ireland. To be honest, even me saying that has also annoyed a bunch of people as well.
Oh, hang on. We're going to get cancelled now. Someone's going to go.
But Tom, don't get cancelled by the Irish. It's not a good thing to do.
I mean, to be cancelled by one of your own. I mean, that's saying something, isn't it?
Oh, Tom, you're going to ruffle some more feathers
What?
there. I'm Northern Irish.
I'm
And
Irish.
my mum is Northern Irish. You're Irish.
I believe. I think
You're
we're
the Republic of Ireland. They're two separate countries.
Okay, so
remember?
Ryanair, Republic or Northern?
Republic.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So why now? So what have they said the reason why? Please don't say this is Catholics versus Protestants.
Lack of support from the UK government, and yeah. But Ryanair is ceasing all flights from Northern Ireland.
Blimey!
Like wow.
Jet2's going to be going in there, aren't they?
Which means the only airline flying to Belfast will be EasyJet and British Airways.
Oh, good luck with that.
No, to be honest, I prefer EasyJet to Ryanair. I won't lie.
I'll be honest. I've only been on EasyJet once, and they were okay. But
EasyJet are great, man.
Yeah.
Like once you've been on Ryanair, it's like cattle class. That's why I'd describe Ryanair as cattle class.
I just think when you get a coffee that's already in a cup and you have to add hot water to it, and the cup actually tastes better than the coffee, that's when you think maybe it's time to go. But I mean, I don't know. I just think sort of Jet2 are going to be straight in there. Like, could you imagine? Coming soon, we're going to be doing more flights to Northern Ireland. Come and get your Jet2 holidays for another £42.
All right, thanks. To be honest, you just spend the extra money and spend £125 on British Airways because, and I'll say this, you might have
consumer advice.
Yes, you might have to go from Heathrow. Yes, you might spend £125. But can I just say, getting a train from here to Manchester would also cost £125. So if you're willing to travel by train to Manchester, then you're willing to fly on British Airways. That should be their new ad. You're willing to fly on British Airways from London to Northern Ireland.
No, I still say the best one is whatever the name of the company. Give me a name of a company.
Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus, right? Give me a name of another company. Doesn't have to be a plane. Could just be anything.
PC World.
Right, PC World. Give me one more.
Loganair.
All right, Loganair. Right, okay. So this is it. Loganair, PC world, whatever. Come on, everybody's doing it. That's your slogan right there. That's a worldwide slogan. You're welcome. Just any company in the world.
Oh, sorry, mate. That's flown right over.
I'm just saying, just like because there's always the old argument. You know, when like you were joking, it was like, oh come on, everybody's doing it. That's your slogan right there. It's like fly BA. Come on, everybody's doing it. Or
all right, man.
Great. What's it now? Great Northern Railways. Come on, everybody's doing it.
No, I'm not. It's not clicking for me.
Oh
well.
You'll get it. You'll get it one day.
I will one day. Anyway, moving on.
I've literally just I could be a marketing executive. That's what I'm saying. It's right there. Come on, everybody's doing it. Hi, hey, that's it. Yeah, look, it even works for that. Tom Hutchinson, marketing executive. Come on, everybody's hiring him.
All right, Tom. You're a different breed, man.
I think I've had one too many Red Bulls. You know why? Because everybody's doing it.
Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a lovely show from Henry Scott, but I'll be off now.
Come on, we got 3 weeks. Hey, you can't now because I've got to go off to the Royal Albert Hall. No, you're not this time. You haven't.
No,
you forgot last week. That was actually quite.
Yeah, but I was getting so into it as well.
I know it was. I still say that. And if any, by the way, I've got to say this, I don't have to say this, but I want to say this. If anybody is looking forward or looking to listen to a bit of music, Mr. Henry Scott is currently on the BBC Sounds app.
Oh yeah,
on Radio 3. You're part of it.
I'm part of. Can I just? I don't know if there are many classical listeners listening, but I do want to say that I performed with the National Youth Choir, Chamber Choir. National Youth Chamber Choir is a better way to say it. At the Royal Albert Hall on last Friday. On the 20th.
Yeah,
and it was an incredible performance. And we all had a lot of fun, and it was once in a lifetime sort of thing at a BBC prom. And it's on BBC Sounds. David Bates was the conductor. He's a really incredible bloke, and we performed Mozart's Requiem. So please do go and have a listen.
Yeah, it was on about. I think if you're looking for the times, it was about 7 p.m. on the Friday. So honestly, go and give it a listen. It is really, really for a guy who. I'll be honest with you, classical music is not normally my thing. It was actually quite nice to listen to it. I had it on the background whilst I was, getting ready for work in the afternoon, and honestly, really properly enjoyed it. So I have to say, so hats off to you. It was a brilliant performance, and regardless of whatever that one person who we always have to comment on says, I think it was great that it sounded very youthful.
Yeah, well, I mean, what is it? We got a review from the Telegraph by a bloke named Ivan Hewitt. He's quite a prominent news critic, and he just gave us a bad review, and who cares, to be honest, because there were no other reviews and the audience really seemed to love it, so I couldn't care less.
Yeah, exactly. One person who doesn't know what he's talking about. That's my review of the guy who reviewed the Telegraph. So that's my review.
I was thinking we could do reviews of reviews.
Yes.
Ooh,
that's a segment for next week's show.
We could do it this show.
We could do.
Go on to TripAdvisor right now in the break.
Me
and Tom have something cool.
This is it. See. This is excitement. This is the reason why you need to be tuning in to Scott and Hutch for the next 3 weeks. Because think about what's after this, it goes. It's gone. Bit like us, really. We're going to be going to some adverts. So stay tuned to Scott and Hutch. We'll be right back after these very special messages.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपकी एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए।
अभी कॉल मिला 0300 3030 777 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Sood. Let's face it, lockdown has left many of us carrying some extra weight. But extra weight can put pressure on our bodies, making it harder to fight diseases like cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So now is a great time for us to get our weight on track. The Better Health website has lots of free tools and tips to get you started. So for help and support to lose weight, search Better Health. Let's do this.
With over 40 years' experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos, and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements, and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Let's connect with the Holy Quran. Minhaj Dawah Project distributes the Holy Quran in plain simple English for free. You can donate £3 and sponsor a Quran to a loved one, a neighbour, a colleague or a friend. We distribute Qurans totally free of charge across the whole UK, including in prisons. Please call us now to contribute on 0300 030 1951 or email us on dawah@minhajuk.org.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to Revive FM 94.0. It is the second hour of Scott and Hutch, and so that does mean, you know what it means. It means we've only got 3 shows left of this, so take it in. Take it in, man. Yeah, have a little cry, have a little sob. Anyway, my name is Tom Hutchinson, and yes, this amazing man right here. Drink it in, man. He is my amazing co-host.
David Spiegel. Henry Scott.
David Spiegel. Nice to meet you. Yeah,
Nice to meet you,
yeah.
mate.
It's now Hutch and Spiegel.
Anyway, before the break,
yes,
me and Tom were
we were going a little bit.
We
delirious.
came up with a new idea, which I actually think is going to work quite well. It might not, though.
Well,
it might spark some sort of spontaneous conversation as it normally does. Me and Tom are horrific at staying on topic.
I know we're kind of like the Ronnie Corbett of like radio presenters in that way. Have you ever seen Ronnie Corbett's monologues?
Yes.
Start off on one thing and then
the news at Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that could be I might have to give you a credit for that one, sir.
So, anyway, me and Tom came up with probably horrific idea to review reviews.
Yeah, we're going to review the reviewers after we reviewed the bad review that was given by the Telegraph of the concert that Mr. Scott was performing in.
Yes.
So
I got a bad review, and I thought the review itself was actually quite poor.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother going through that because unless you've watched the Requiem itself, or listen to it, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Regardless of the point, I thought we'd actually have a go at reviewing the Marble Arch Mound.
Here we go then.
Or reviewing the reviews of the Marble Arch Mound. My goodness.
Any excuse to put this on.
Any excuse. So, I mean, let's start off by talking about who is this? Nelly Lucia, my love. Andrea Good.
Bless you.
Google names don't really work. Gave it 4 stars, and she said,
"Really?
Yep."
So, hang on, someone gave the Marble Arch Mound
4 stars. Its average review is 3 stars. Yeah.
So that is almost exactly.
I
average.
loved every moment of it. Why not? The weather was okay. There was no sun, but also no rain. A classic British day. Entrance was completely free, and people around were very friendly. Also, the stairs were wide and easy to climb.
You know why
with
it's
places
completely
to stop.
free? Because it's crap. It's rubbish.
Yes.
It is rubbish.
It is rubbish.
It looks nothing like the picture.
Also, the stairs are wide and easy to climb with places to stop. Enjoy the views and make photos. There are toilets and a lift. I learned from my weekly email that till the end of the August, the entrance is free, so immediately used the opportunity. Also because the mound will only stand till the end of the year.
Thank God for
So
that.
it should. Have you been to the mound?
I haven't, but I'll be honest with you.
I've been up the mound.
I just feel like it's
And
the
it
city
is-
of. I just feel like it's the city of London's idea of a catfish.
No. The thing is, there's nothing like that, right? So the mound was supposed to look really cool. Like it was going to be like a really cool forest on this like artificial grass.
Yeah.
And of course they did it, and like they put up this mound, and of course they didn't put nearly as many trees and bushes and forests as they wanted to because they couldn't.
Mm.
And then the trees have started dying as well because obviously they don't have like actual water supply. They're not
Yeah.
being looked after. They don't have their roots in the ground. And the views are pretty terrible because the mound isn't high enough. It's like a nearly 100. It's like not even 100 feet in the air.
No, I
don't
mean,
think.
well, they're saying
And,
you
like,
can't even.
It just it's horrific.
Yeah,
Like, you just can't see anything. It's not tall enough to be able to see.
You can't see over
the
Marble
building.
Arch, can you?
No, you can see over Marble Arch, but you can't see any of the over the buildings around Marble Arch. So it's just kind of pointless, to be honest. Mega Man says a total waste of money. 1 star. Maggie Toy says 3 stars. A good viewing platform, but can't help thinking more could have been done with it or be taller. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the view from it is just pretty terrible. You can't see anything.
I mean, do you know what? In fairness, I think you'd probably get a better view if you actually just went to the top of Marble Arch.
Or Marble Arch is smaller than the Mount.
Yeah, but I just think you get a better view anyway. I don't know, man. It literally just looks like someone. Do you know what it looks like? You know when you were saying that there's no water supply in there to water the trees or anything like that. So it's got to rely on either people watering it with a watering can or rain. All right, let's be honest, we've had a bit of that. But I think if they'd have sort of let it bed in for like, I don't know, a year or 18 months, right? Get some flowers in there, get some trees in. And then
that was the plan.
Yeah, but then you've got the whole, or like another 18 months. You've got all that time to let it go. Then you've got the hype building up of, I can't wait to go up there when it's like,
it used to cost £4.50 to go up.
I know,
as a kid, and then £6.50 for an adult.
I know.
And I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't free, I wouldn't go because I went up and it was just like, ugh.
Well, and also they're saying like the stairs are really slippery, aren't they?
No, I didn't find that. That's just some people. But what is it? It just yielded nothing.
Yeah,
it was very boring.
It was kind of like it's just someone who's just had this idea, and like I say, it's great in principle, but put it in practicality, it just doesn't
but
quite
even
work,
then, in principle, it was designed to get people to come back to the West End. And to be honest, I never think
the shops.
Well, the West End has never really had an issue with getting people to come back to the West End. You know what I mean?
As I know when people try to walk through me every time I go.
Recovery will happen on its own, and the council's just wasted like £4 or £5 million. No, it's £2 million. That's it. They've wasted £2 million on an artificial mud pile.
Yeah.
There's not even a mud pile because it's got scaffolding.
And so it's not. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like it just didn't work. But I'm just trying to find because there's a I don't know if I was saying about this in the break. I don't think it's there anymore. But there was a
right, sorry. Yeah,
that's right. No, I was going to say there was a waxwork museum. I'm just trying to see if I can find the reviews for it where none of them look like. I think it's gone now, so they don't. But there was a waxwork museum called Louis Two Swords. And it was famed for having some of the worst waxworks ever, as in you could not figure out who they were. I mean, like, hang on,
what was it? Well, I mean, the Mound has actually gained so much attraction now for being so bad.
Yeah,
the numbers are up stupidly amount. They're so high because Londoners are so keen to see how bad it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it was really busy when I went, like so busy.
It's so odd, isn't it? Like that we want to go and see these things. We are as a nation, we kind of like to sort of self-inflict some damage ourselves.
I saw, Boaty McBoatface, the submarine they
named.
Yeah. I saw it on my drive back.
Really?
From Worcester once. That was so cool. I saw
was it attached to the Sir David Attenborough?
No. Well, that's quite big.
A
massive boat on a motorway. I'm not sure how.
On the motorway. Sorry,
man.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, right. I'm going to try and guess this for you. Right, so you'll probably get this. This is one of the really bad waxworks. So for the benefit of our viewers watching it on stream right now, right? That's
supposed to be Prince Harry.
No, Prince William. That's from Louis Two Swords. This was the terrible...
I really want to go.
Well, unfortunately, it shut down. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. You'll never guess who this one is, but I'm telling you now, it looks like a member of the Minstrels. Look at that. Look. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's not brilliant.
That doesn't really...
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a new segment for my podcast coming up, and I'm going to do it as London's, the world's worst attractions, and go.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. And actually, you know what you need to do? You need to try and do like a review whilst you're at them, and like see if you can do it without getting thrown out. Like literally lambast them. Try that.
Well, I mean, lots of people on TripAdvisor are saying M&M World on Oxford Street. Yeah, I've been there. It is pretty terrible.
It's just a
changing of the guards at Buckingham Palace.
Oh no, that's not too bad. I mean, for
but the
kids, that's
changing
quite cool.
No, they say changing the guard at Whitehall is much better.
Really?
Yeah. What else? London Dungeon and London Bridge experience is terrible as well.
See the
Madame Tussauds, they say, is also terrible, and Cadbury's World is also pretty terrible.
Cadbury's World. I mean,
and we got really bad attractions in London.
Well, I don't know.
Because those are supposed to be the good things.
Well, put it this way: I went to Madame Tussauds. When was the last time I went? It had to be 2013, and I went when I was younger, and then I went with my sister, my dad, and my dad's girlfriend at the time. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was that bad. And then I actually went to the Las Vegas one with my mum, and we kept getting the giggles because there was what was it? There was a waxwork of Hugh Hefner, you know, the former Playboy owner. And my mum kept doing all these poses. My mum at the time would have been about 63, 64. And she was doing all the sort of like the Playboy poses, you know, like that, looking like sort of Betty Davis and all the stuff from years ago, to the point that a security guard said that someone had come over and had made a complaint and they asked her to stop doing it. And I said, who is it? They said,
kind of rude.
They went, I said, who's made the complaint? And they said, we're not at liberty to divulge that. I went, you can do. I said, because they just insulted my mother. And they wouldn't tell me. I don't think there ever been a complaint. But, you know, normally it's just like, can you stop doing it? I get the point of it's like, you know, please don't touch the waxworks. Well, you weren't. There was a seat set up there where you could actually sit and have your picture taken. I mean, I just spent most of my time in the Britney Spears one, which is quite nice, to be honest. I was reliving my childhood. What? What's wrong with Britney Spears?
Nothing. It's fine. Sorry, everyone. I just gave Tom a really funny
What's
look.
wrong with Britney Spears?
No. Just nothing, Tom. It's fine.
Mate, back when I was your age, Britney Spears was like the unobtainable one. She was kind of like the...
Well, it's like my generation's... well, I would say a
you guys got?
majority
now.
of blokes nowadays have a crush on Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she was the Margot Robbie of the day.
Yeah,
actually,
Margot Robbie is the crush of the day. No, I'm genuinely. You could
Yeah.
ask any bloke I know. I remember all the lads I know, all of my mates. They're like, yeah, Margot Robbie. She's just so. I'd marry that woman in a flash. They all just love. Margot
It's also
Robbie.
nice because when you see her,
Yeah, they just love to marry the woman.
Yeah,
genuine. They like it's that special.
Yeah.
She's what everyone refers to as wife material.
Yeah, I always loved I can't remember who said, I think it was Chris Moore's when they said he had Peter Capaldi on. I was talking about the Suicide Squad, you know, the new movie. And he went, I tell you what, it's a good thing she's an actor because let's be honest, she's not been blessed with the looks department, has she? Like, no, like obviously,
Yeah.
And Peter Capaldi just went. He said, I just don't see what everyone has in her, you know, sees in her, you know. But she was so funny, and he was like, they were just complimenting the whole time. He said, do you know what? He said, I worked with so many great people. I got to work with Idris Elba. I got to work with John Cena, who's the wrestler who.
No, to be honest, mate, he's not a wrestler. He's an actor.
Oh, he is now. Well, he actually, funny enough, he just came back and wrestled on Saturday night at WWE SummerSlam.
No, but here's the thing, man. WWE is not wrestling. That's just acting.
It's sports entertainment.
It's not even sport. It's just entertainment.
Well, we'll put it this way.
I'm gonna slate WWE.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Hang on. Do we get the music? back on?
No.
No, but well, actually, I say the funny. So I haven't watched WWE, and sorry, Sue, if you watch this from my mum's mate who works there. I haven't watched WWE in about probably 6 years now because I flicked on YouTube because I always had the bits on YouTube. I still subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah,
sorry, keep going.
And his name is John Cena.
Yeah.
Basically, I saw a segment where there's a girl called Alexa Bliss who, I won't lie, she's kind of up there with Margot Robbie, wife material. But she's got this thing where she's kind of like a really creepy chick at the minute, and she's got a creepy doll called Lily. And this doll, right?
It's kind of weird.
It's an
I
inanimate
guess
object.
She uses it to like hit people.
No, it winked. They somehow animated it.
Oh,
right?
no, that's
It was sitting on the top turnbuckle, right? Now, bear in mind, they're back to having live audiences now, right? This doll sitting on there. One of the opponent looks at this thing, and all of a sudden they cut to a close up of this doll Lily, and the eye just goes ding and winks, and all of a sudden the opponent falls flat, and I'm like,
yeah, no, that's
the heck was that?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah,
but here's the thing about that kind of stuff is it's like.
It's PG. It's aimed for kids. That's the point. Whereas, like, you got something like AEW, which is run by Tony
UFC.
Khan. Yeah, or
UFC is good.
Yeah, well, funny enough, CM Punk, who actually went to UFC and got his backside handed to him twice, has now gone to WWE's chief rival, AEW. And I think he had the best quote, and all my friends actually agreed with this. He said, I left, what was it? He joined WWE in 2006. He said, I left professional wrestling in 2005. In 2021, I came back. Because he's not saying sports entertainment, he's saying pro wrestling, because they kind of actually prioritize the actual athleticism as opposed to sort of having creepy dolls going, come and play with me, it's really fun, and then goes, it's just
stupid. Anyway,
very stupid.
Moving on from that,
Yes,
because I don't think our listeners are particularly interested in WWE.
You will if you see Alexa Bliss. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, that is Margot Robbie.
Either way, we have to, our consumer champions, me and Tom here, obviously.
Oh yes,
we need to quickly let you, the listeners, know that your money will be well spent in traveling to the Marble Arch Mound, because if you really find it atrociously boring, Hyde Park is on your doorstep, as is Oxford Street. So if you're planning a little shopping trip for overpriced clothes at flagship stores along the famed Oxford Circus and Oxford Street, then do go and give the Marble Arch a mound view. And it's totally worth it because it's free. It wouldn't be worth it if it cost a penny.
Exactly. You know what else is also on the Central Line is up at Fellop Waters.
Oh yeah,
there is.
Yeah, and there's loads of stuff going on at Fellop Waters
there's
as well.
The boating lakes. There's the bicycle rentals.
There's the Aquabounce.
There is. Yeah, that's true. There's the little train with a bunch of amazing drivers. I must be honest.
Yeah. No.
So yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes, moving on.
That's something we should do. We should, because I mean, lots of people in Newham have been looking. I think we've got to do a little segment next week on like local parks in the area and places where people can go and visit in Newham, because like it's all about the communities, right? And lots of local businesses are around in Newham and the area that the station broadcasts to. And a lot of people don't actually know that these sites are there. You know, I work at Fairlop. Funny you should mention that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
And shut up. And
just like shoehorn that in there.
Shut up, Tom. And don't make me lose it, mate. I'm trying to keep it together.
Oh God, I would like him when he's angry.
Okay. Anyway, a lot of people saying to me in the park, like, "Oh, I never knew this was here. It's so nice and so nice and so fun." And I'm like, "Really? You didn't know? It's on like where do you live? Oh, only 5 minutes around the corner." Loads of people have no idea that like there's all these services on offer to them. It's just like a total broken information loop. Like great days out for the kids and the family and stuff like that. And I'm not even like just trying to promote the place where I work. I'm genuinely thinking about all the places I've kind of missed.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't know they were there.
Yeah.
Like
and
I didn't
even the history of certain places.
Yeah, it's like
as well.
I didn't know that Lee Valley Whitewater Rafting Center was like a 20-minute drive from me.
Yeah.
And like that would have been so cool when I was younger to like go to. I only went when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah,
I had no idea it was there.
Well, I used to go. There's where the ice center is there, for example. That I just used to go around there to the canal to walk my dog at the time, like with my mum, and then the big playground. And it was like same thing when I was that young, living in Stoke Newington. I didn't realize it was that close, really. You know, you always think of it, it's miles away, but it's also it's nice, and it's like even when my dad used to live in Suffolk. He took my sister's flatmate around who's from Australia. He's never been to like an English village before. My dad told me all this stuff, and I've been going up there since 2002. Even I didn't know there's like a little tombstone on one of the shops, and apparently it's for a child that was sweeping the chimney and fell and got stuck in there. And they sort of do a little celebration every year for the child, even though this was like a couple of 100 years ago. And it's all those great things. And maybe that's something that we need to look into for our final few weeks. Maybe we could sort of look and see
we need to sort of curate a list or something.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like genuinely, I think about this. I think a lot of parents are looking for stuff to do for their kids, and a lot of websites are falling short.
Yeah, and let's be honest, soft play is now getting to the point that it's going to cost you a small fortune to run. As my cousins openly say every week.
The soft play centers are really expensive and they're really in demand, and also indoors. So if you're COVID conscious, you want to find an outdoor activity.
Yeah,
we should curate a little list. I think we'll do that for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, because there's so many like great things out there, which I think a lot of people haven't discovered. It's just a lot of people don't know their local areas that well because they have the tube in London. They sort of just say, "Oh, just going to London and do something and spend loads of money." But you can actually have quite a nice day out if you look local.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we need to do in Newham anyway. Because like as a community, Revive FM's all about reviving community.
Exactly.
I was thinking about that as I was walking into the studio. I saw the sign on the door. So reviving community. Yeah, that's our slogan. What can we do? We need to do a couple of episodes on community revival.
Exactly. We're going to give, we're going to give back like for our final few weeks, I think. So because we've obviously been, we've been greatly accepted by Revive FM and the community. That's why we've been allowed to do this for 12 months. And it's
that's surprising, isn't it?
And well, I'll be honest, I'm surprised I lasted 12 weeks, to be honest with you. But as you know, all I can say is you put in so many good words for me. It's now turned into a book.
Of course.
But speaking of good words, we've got some good words coming up from our advertisers. So stay tuned for the final part of this week's Scott and Hutch coming up in about 3 minutes' time. See you in a bit.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Ahoy there, matey. So you want to be a pirate, do you? Well, guess what? You now can at Fairlock Country Park. Come and hire one of our fantastic new boats at the lake. Find us on the tube on the Central Line or drive down from East London. Fun for the whole family, har! You can row, pedal, or even try kayaking. We're open on weekends, all school holidays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come on down and set sail at Fairlock Country Park.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 561 0000. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road, or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
With over 40 years' experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos, and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements, and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello there. You are listening to Revive FM 94.0. It is the last part of this week's Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson, which must make this amazing man
Henry Scott.
Now, I was saying about this a little bit in the break. I want to talk about our lovely American cousins because we do love them.
In what regard?
Well, even though they're not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I just feel like we need to sort of give them a little bit of love.
This is the Monty Python tune. This cannot be less American.
This is the Liberty Bell.
It's Monty Python. It's British now. We've claimed it.
We've claimed it.
We have.
Well, we gave America, and then we took this song back for Monty Python's Flying Circus. Sorry. Anyway,
Okay.
Right. So, I don't know. I just like this. It just makes me think of America.
All right.
Right. So, the FDA, you know, the US Food and Drug Agency, right?
Yeah.
Has issued a warning to people not to take an anti-parasitic drug designed for livestock to treat or prevent COVID-19 following multiple reports of poisonings. So, no, but it gets better. It gets better, right? So, the quote
I'm
to
sorry,
the main.
I'm using the microphone as a headrest.
Don't worry, I was just sitting there, just going, "This is from the one of the biggest free countries in the world," and I just thought, "You're using worming tablets to prevent COVID." Hey, remember that time when they said, "Oh yeah, drink bleach"? That was we didn't think it'd get much worse.
Well, the thing is, what I just love is that I bet the manufacturers of bleach Johnson & Johnson would have to ever imagine that they would have to put out a press release saying, please don't drink our products.
I just had a
Can
feeling.
you imagine being the blokes at? Can you imagine being the press marketing team?
Well, they actually did it on Twitter.
I know they said, please don't drink our product. Please don't put bleach inside your body. Please don't.
I was just thinking, are they going to start bringing back out that Got Milk campaign? But it was going to be got bleach, and it's just like burn marks around the lips.
I mean, like, can you what is America?
Yes, I can.
I was saying this earlier today. I was like, what is the US?
Yeah. It's a nation of haves and have-nots. People who have intelligence and those who do not have intelligence.
But that's all of them, clearly. because not even the thing is, in previous governments of the United States, a lot of them have been quite intelligent. They've done a lot of good maneuvering. Like you kind of think like, oh, West Wing. Yeah, that's cool. West Wing, yeah.
Right? Well, so this right. So I've got a quote here, right, from the Mississippi State Department for Health, right? Now, usually these are, we advise our residents of whatever county it
sensible
is.
stuff.
Yeah, this is him, right? This is what the person has put. Quote: "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." The FDA tweeted. It's perhaps not surprising that some consumers are looking at unconventional treatments in a country where less than 52% of the population are vaccinated. I know.
It's just so stupid.
I know. That's America.
Why is that an announcement? No, but why, Tom? Why is that an announcement that must be made?
It's the fact that
what happened to people's common sense and logic?
It's the fact that the Mississippi State Department has actually put "seriously, y'all, stop it" as a quote. That's as a press release. Seriously, y'all, stop it. I'm not making this up.
Oh my goodness.
I can just hear Ray Gillette from Archer in my head.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm stop it now.
I love these kind of stories to finish off the show.
I know.
Because it does make me feel like we as a nation are slightly more intelligent.
Yeah, only slightly. I mean,
yeah, I know that. But like, I don't think a single person in Britain has thought, oh yeah, let me start taking medication for cancer. Let me start eating dog food as a replacement for my normal diet. Or let me inject bleach inside my body because somebody like Donald Trump said it was a good idea.
Yeah, I've got
no one in this country actually thought that any of those things are a good idea.
I know.
And yet somehow,
somehow,
Tom, Americans thought that they had to give it a go.
Do you know what it
and
is?
And the FDA had to release a statement saying, y'all stop it now, you hear?
Y'all stop it now. You're
not a horse.
You're not
a cow.
Dukes. It's just... Oh
my
America.
goodness.
You just want to put an arm around some of these countries. I was just go, are you okay? Are you all right?
I think,
Do you need a hug?
So you know how everyone like ribs into Florida in the States? There's a standard...
America's wang, but they prefer the sunshine states.
No, Americans, any other state who's not from Florida believes that Florida is the dustbin of America, right?
Dustbin of America.
But the dustbin of the world is the United States. because the amount of stuff that comes out of there is just like, what on earth?
I know. You have to question them, don't you? But we do love them, but we do have to question.
No, we don't. I remember me and Dion, back when me and Dion did this segment, we had Florida Man.
Florida Man.
We had we had a segment every week called a Florida Man. You had to we had got three. We made up two outrageous headlines.
Because it always happens in Florida.
This was no. It's like you always hear in the news: Florida man fights a bear and then starts living with him in his house after the fight, after a couple of beers.
That's a Jerry Springer episode.
But the thing is, what we did was we would always we'd make up two fake Florida man stories, and then have a real one.
Okay.
There's so many. I could quickly scrounge one together, I reckon.
Go on, we'll do that. Then we're going to play a song to finish up on, which actually now I think holds more. I think the name of this song actually holds a lot more weight to it now after what we've just spoken about.
Okay, so here we go. Right, awesome stuff. Florida man bites off friend's ear in fight over women in wheelbarrow. Please say. Next headline.
Okay.
You have to guess which one is real.
All right. So Florida man bites off. Was it a neighbour's ear? Did you say?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Florida man sentenced to 155 days in jail on destruction of property using a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
And Florida man hospitalized following fight with alligator.
Okay. I'm going to say
which one's real, Tom?
I'm going to say the real one has got to be the first one. I'd say because the alligator one is just too
yeah. You think
you'd
think they were all real. That was the twist I did.
I mean, all I'd say is, Carlsberg don't do nuclear weapons, but if they did, aim one at Florida. Anyway, I think we need to end on that note.
Yeah, let's finish up there.
Stay tuned to Revive FM. I have been Tom Hutchinson. He has been
Henry Scott.
And this is Land of Confusion by Genesis.
Into the night, there's too many men, too many people, thinking too many problems, and not much love to go around. Can't you see this is a land of confusion? This is the world we live in, and these are the hands we give up. You then let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. Oh, Superman, where are you now? When everything's gone wrong somehow. The men of steel, the men of power, losing control by the hour. This is the time, this is the place, so we look for the future. But there's not much love to go around. Tell me why this is a land of confusion. This is the world we live in, and these are the hands we give up. You never let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. When the sun was shining, and the stars were bright, all through the night, and the sound of your laughter as I held you tight, so long ago. I won't be coming home tonight.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 079